Hello everyone, this is Rachel with Mic Drop Miniatures, and today I'm going to show you how to make this vintage dollhouse lawn chair. So these bring me right back to my childhood. My grandparents actually had several sets of these, so I'm really excited to show you how to create these today. So if you are a subscriber of the Dollhouse Miniature subscription box, you would have gotten this in your June 24 subscription box. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to take these paper findings in your box and we're going to put glue all over them. So for that, I am using a makeup sponge, and you want to make sure to get it all on the edges and carefully try not to get any on the front. So there's 3 of these pieces and we are going to stack them. Another thing that you want to make sure is that you have them even. You can cut them later, but it's just really even, or it's better to try to get them even when you are gluing. So go ahead and grab the last piece here. Other things you can use is a paintbrush, like a eyeshadow applicator, things like that. So I'm getting it all on the edges and I'm placing it like a little sandwich, making sure all sides are flush. There we go. Now we're going to do the chair back. Again, there is 3 pieces. And I'm just using Well Bond glue. It's one of my favorite glues, but you can use Eileen's Tacky Glue, pretty much any glue that you have in your craft room. I'm taking a clean piece of paper here because I don't want to get glue on the front. And I'm just going to sandwich them together. 3 pieces again for the back of the chair. This last one you'll see has little slits in it. This will be obviously for the front. Place that on there, and then we are going to just let them dry just a little bit. Now we are going to bend it. So I'm going to place my thumb in the middle, and I'm going to carefully, little by little, bend the back of the chair. You just want to do little sections because you don't want to get creases, because we're going to make this try to look like metal, so we don't want the creases. So just a little bit. There you can kind of see the curve. And then the chair, we are going to pinch the very middle, try to get as the middle as possible, pinch it, and you'll just have to work with the paper a little. Again, just little creases at a time. And then we're going to bend all 4 corners down. Putting your thumb in the middle, because that's where, your butt would sit in the chair, and you definitely want that to be flat. So I'm going to crease, maybe make this just a little more defined. There we go. And again, bend all 4 corners down. And I think I like that, so you can kind of see the edges there. All right, now you definitely want to let your pieces dry. And then your next step is we're going to add the strips that also came in your DIY kit. So here is where your fine tip glue will come in handy. You just want glue on that very edge. Try not to get it on the back or the front of the chair. And then you're just going to wrap this strip of paper all the way around. So what I do is I section it off like I did the back, now I'm doing the side, and I'm just going to wipe off a little too much glue here. And I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds till it's in place, and then just keep wrapping all the way around. And for this, I started on the back of the chair where we creased it, where we pinched it, so we won't see that. And then when you get to the back, you can just overhang it for a little bit and let it dry. We'll come back and cut that later. And some of the pieces, for those pieces that you folded over, you will have an overhang, but we're going to go and cut those later. All right, so we're going to do the back with the same with the back of the chair. I'm going to start here on the bottom, but I'm going to overhang it about 1 inch. I'll show you what I mean here once I get my glue intact. This little fine nose glue bottle is amazing when doing miniatures. I'm trying to think of the one I use on Amazon. It's got like a bear as a logo, but what I love is they have really fine tips. So here I just want to show you, you want to make sure that you're lining it right to the edge. Maybe I should have used a different color so you can see better. But you don't want any of it overhanging. You want it to be flush, the strip with the front of the chair. A little too much glue there. And again, I'm just going to keep wrapping, holding it in place. Once it's tacked down, I'll just keep continuing, making sure that, again, there's overhang on both sides. It's really important that you let those pieces dry before moving to the next step. All right, so I think my pieces are dry. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to cut. I'm going to fold where I want it cut. And then I'm just going to make sure that that's glued down. Try not to get too much of an overhang or overlapping the strip. It's okay if it overlaps a little. Glue that in place. And again, let it dry. That's the hardest thing about miniatures, right? Letting the pieces dry. Little piece that came up here, fix that quick. Again, I'm using Wellbond glue. It's one of my favorite glues to use for miniatures. Now that my pieces are dry, I'm going to take some little scissors. These are little sewing scissors. You want to make sure that they're sharp, but you're going to get all the way down to the seat. Any little overhang that you may have. And just slowly trim that off. It's amazing that these are made of paper. So I got this tutorial off the internet from teenyweeniebaby.com, and I'll link to her website too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue the back seat to the chair back. So the seat to the chair back. So it's important to line it up, make sure it's straight. And it's a little crooked. So glue those together, hold them in place, getting a good bond there. And then when it's dry enough, you can fold that back piece over of the chair to finish it. And my glue. And I'm just going to go along the edge just like we did before and glue that strip into place. So Teeny Weeny Baby, she has lots of tutorials on her website. And again, this brought me right back to my childhood. And it was so great for the theme of this month's miniature box, which is Backyard Party. So I want to thank her for her tutorials. All right, I'm just holding this in place. And then we'll go ahead and just finish the back side. All right, so next step is we are going to make the metal, the legs and the arms. This is made just from one piece of wire, and you would have received that in your box. We need a marker, some tape, and a ruler. So the first thing you want to do is just try to straighten out that metal as best as you can. It's really bendable, which is nice to work with, but it also is pretty soft, so sometimes it bends when you don't want it to. So try to find the middle of your wire. So mine's 7.5. So what we want to do is at the middle of the wire, we want to bend it in a 2-inch increment. So these boxes represent 1 inch. I'm going to bend this side. We want it just a little under 2 inches. Bend this side. Now these are pretty, if you want those a little tighter of a bend, You can use a tool like this. I don't know if you're going to get a really tight bend with your finger, so you may need to just grab a tool, or you can leave it as is if you don't have a pliers or needle nose pliers. So there's my bend. It's just a little under 2 inches. Try to get these a little more straighter. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with this type of wire. All right. I think that's good. As you can see, again, a little under 2. And now flip it over. And this is where we're going to tape it down. I'm just using masking tape here, painter's tape. Tape the top. And we are going to bend up right at the 2-inch mark again. So this is where my marker will come in hand. Maybe you have a stylist. I'm going to... So there's the 2-inch mark, just so you can kind of see it better. Put my marker in place, and I'm going to tape that marker down. And then we'll just bend it up towards the ceiling. So I'm really excited to see how what colors they decorate their chairs. Everyone's chairs will probably come out just a little bit different. So I'm really excited. Make sure to tag me after you get them made on social media at MikeDropMiniatures.com so I can see. All right, so there's the bottom. Now we're going to take it off. When you take the tape, you want to make sure you're careful so you don't bend the wire. Flip it up so the bend is towards you or towards the ceiling. And we're just going to repeat that. I'm just going to use the same tape. So at the bend, we are going to now bend it up towards us. Again, to the ceiling at the 2-inch mark. So put my marker down. So just above 2 inches. And bend up. The good thing about this wire is if you do screw up, you can just try to get it flat again and do it over. All right, so now we just want to do a dry run with our chair, making sure that it will fit. All right, so let me make these all even. There's definitely enough wire here. So let me grab my chair and let's just do a dry run. So the chair is going to, the arms, and then it's going to go back, and we will eventually have to cut these. So what you want to do is try to figure out where you want the arms. But before you glue anything, I highly recommend that you paint your chair. And for this, I would use spray paint. And you definitely want to seal it maybe with a gloss clear coat to make it look even more metal like I did here. And then once your chair is dry, then you can go ahead and put the leggings on. And I just use super glue. And the trick here is you definitely want to hold it, like right where my fingers are here. Hold it in place until the glue dries. I think that was the trickiest thing about this DIY. And then glue it here on the sides and on the back, clipping your extra wire. And voila, you have this awesome DIY chair that they'll be amazed that this is made out of paper. So thank you again for joining me for this DIY. I hope you loved it, and I can't wait to hear what you think. All right, you guys, thank you, and we'll be back soon for another DIY.